After my daughter's recital, my sister-in-law pulled me aside and said, "You're raising her to be soft. She'll be a nobody like you." I laughed it off until I found a YouTube channel she ran, with dozens of videos titled, "Parenting Gone Wrong, My Brother's Pathetic Wife." Footage of me, my home, my voice. I reported every video, sent a cease and desist, then made my own channel, telling my side. My first video hit 300K views, and she got demonetized within a week. So, let me tell you what happened. And I swear, this is real. I'm not the kind of person who usually shares stuff like this online, but I've held this in for too long. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm 38, been married for 10 years to my husband Mark. We have one daughter, Ava. She's 9, quiet, thoughtful, and the sweetest kid you'll ever meet. She's not loud or aggressive like some kids. She likes books, piano, and being around animals. She's sensitive, and I never saw that as a bad thing. I just wanted her to feel safe and loved. Now, Mark's sister Denise, she's always been intense. You know the type. Always on social media. Always talking about building a brand and leveling up. She makes money online somehow, something about digital branding, courses, and affiliate marketing. She shows off her car, her gym outfits, her skincare routine like she's some kind of celebrity. At family dinners, she talks like she's on a podcast. Everything is about hustle and being alpha. She's never really liked me. I could tell from the start. I stay home with Ava. I cook, I clean, I don't make a lot of money. I don't dress up much. I'm not flashy. I don't market myself like she always tells me I should. And I guess to her, that means I'm weak. It all came to a head at Ava's school recital in December. Ava had been practicing for weeks. She was nervous, but she worked so hard. She played Silent Night on piano. She made a mistake halfway through, but she kept going. At the end, the whole room clapped, and I saw her face light up like she just won a trophy. I was so proud, I almost cried. After the show, we were gathering our coats and snacks when Denise came over to me near the back of the auditorium. Mark was helping Ava find her gloves, so it was just the two of us. She leaned in close and said, "You're raising her to be soft." I blinked. What? Denise smiled like she was doing me a favor. You're raising her to be weak. She's going to grow up to be a nobody, like you. I let out a weird laugh. Not because it was funny, but because it felt so out of place. Excuse me? I'm just saying, she said, shrugging like it wasn't the most insulting thing you could say to a mother. The world's not nice. She needs to toughen up. You baby her too much. Then she walked off like she hadn't just sucker punched me with words. I didn't even tell Mark that night. I just felt embarrassed. Maybe I was overreacting? Maybe I'm too sensitive? But something in her tone stuck with me. Like she'd already made up her mind about who I was. 3 days later, I found out it wasn't just an insult. I was making spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. Ava was at the kitchen table doing homework. I had YouTube music playing on the laptop in the corner. Nothing special. Just background noise. When I went to change the playlist, I saw a recommended video on the homepage. The thumbnail made my heart stop. It was me. Standing in my kitchen, wearing that purple sweatshirt I wear around the house. The title read, "Parenting Gone Wrong, My Brother's Pathetic Wife, Episode 1. I clicked on it without even thinking. The video was about 5 minutes long. And it was me. Denise had somehow recorded me, inside my home. The footage showed me talking to Ava while she cried over a spelling test. I told her to take a break, and gave her hot cocoa. I remember that night. Ava had been overwhelmed and scared. I thought I was doing the right thing, giving her space and comfort. But the video was cut with dramatic music, and Denise's voice narrated over it. Watch how quickly she folds. Her kid cries, and she teaches her to quit. This is what losing looks like, folks. My hands were shaking. I clicked on the channel. There were dozens of these videos. Videos of me on Zoom calls. Of me walking around the backyard. Of me sitting on the porch. All kinds of angles. Some were clearly filmed during family visits. Others, I still don't know how she got them. Maybe through FaceTime screen recordings? Maybe from hidden cameras? I don't know. Each video had a cruel title. Why My Brother Married Down, My Niece is Doomed, Exhibit A, Motherhood by Weak Women. She turned my life into a show. Into a joke. And people were watching.
Commenting.
Agreeing with her. Laughing. I felt sick. I wanted to scream. I called Mark. He was furious. He texted Denise, told her to take everything down. She didn't answer. Instead, the next day, she posted another video titled, Triggered? Wait till you hear this 1-inch, she doubled down. She showed more clips. More jabs at me and my kid. That's when I called a friend of mine. She's a paralegal. She helped me write a cease and desist. We emailed it to her. No reply. Then I decided I wasn't going to sit in the shadows anymore. I made my own YouTube channel. I sat in my living room, looked straight at the camera, and told the truth. No edits. No fancy lighting. Just me and my voice. I said what happened. I showed screenshots. I played clips from Denise's videos side by side with the original footage. I explained how she twisted the story. I showed the cease and desist. I explained how she mocked a 9-year-old girl for being emotional. The video took off.
Fast.
Within 48 hours, I had over 300,000 views. Thousands of comments poured in. Other moms. Teachers. People who had been bullied online. They stood up for me. For Ava. And guess what? Her channel got flagged. Mass reported. People dug into her tactics. YouTube demonetized her account. A few days later, it was gone. Completely removed. She tried to save face. She went on TikTok calling me a bitter, jealous housewife. But by then, no one cared. Mark hasn't spoken to her since. She tried to come to Ava's birthday in March. Mark met her at the door and told her to leave. She screamed that I ruined her business. I didn't even get up from the kitchen table. I just said loud enough for her to hear, "You filmed me without my permission. You humiliated a child. You got what you earned." And I meant every word. After the video went viral and her channel got wiped, I thought maybe it was over. I wanted it to be over. I didn't care about YouTube fame. I just wanted to protect Ava, and I wanted Denise to stop. But people like her, people who build their whole identity on being right and better, they don't go down quiet. 2 weeks after the takedown, I started getting weird emails. Not from Denise directly, but from fake accounts. Throwaway Gmail addresses. The kind with numbers and letters mashed together. Each email had the same tone. Nasty, personal, like someone trying to poke the wound. You think you're a hero? You're just a bitter loser riding a pity wave. No wonder your husband looks dead behind the eyes. Must be hell coming home to you. I give it 3 months before he cheats on you. They didn't use Denise's name, but I knew. Every line sounded like her voice. That smug, sneaky way she talks when she wants to sound clever. I showed the emails to Mark. He went silent. Then he opened his phone and started scrolling. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Checking something," he muttered. He pulled up an old group chat between him, Denise, and a few cousins. A chat he hadn't touched in months. He scrolled up, paused, then handed me the phone. There it was. A message Denise had sent back in October. Before all of this. She shared a screenshot of my Facebook profile and wrote, "Thinking of launching a parenting row series. Might start with this masterpiece of a mom face with tears of joy nail polish." No one in the chat responded. Not a single one. But no one warned me either. "She planned this," Mark said quietly. That's when it hit me. This wasn't some petty grudge. She plotted this. She wanted to take me down before I even knew there was a fight. And the worst part? She didn't care that Ava was in the crossfire. Things got weirder. That weekend, a neighbor, Mrs. Fryman, 2 houses down, knocked on my door holding her phone. "You need to see this," she said. She showed me a Facebook post from a local community group. Someone had posted a screenshot of my viral video, and the caption read, "This is the woman exploiting her family drama for internet clout. Protect your kids." This isn't normal. People were arguing in the comments. Some defended me. Others jumped on the bandwagon. said I was unstable, said Ava should be in school full-time, that I was chasing fame at my daughter's expense. It didn't take long for me to figure it out. The post came from a profile named JaneElise77.
Fake.
Brand new. No mutual friends. But the writing? Same voice. Same tone. All Denise. She was trying to turn my own town against me. The next day, Ava came home from school quieter than usual. She didn't touch her dinner. I asked what happened. She hesitated, then said, "Why did Aunt Denise say you're using me to get famous?" My stomach turned. Turns out, Denise had been texting one of Mark's cousins, Kelly, who lives 2 streets over. Kelly's daughter goes to the same school as Ava. And that little girl told Ava in the lunch line. I told Ava the truth, in simple words. I would never use you. I'm trying to protect you. Aunt Denise made some really bad choices, and this is her way of trying to get even. Ava didn't say much. She just nodded and looked away. That night, I couldn't sleep. Something inside me snapped. This woman wasn't just trying to humiliate me. She was trying to poison my daughter's world, make her question me, and I couldn't let that happen. So I dug deeper. I looked into Denise's business, her so-called brand consulting company. Turns out, she ran everything under a shell LLC out of California. Her site was full of fake testimonials. Her clients were just stock photos. Her course? A copy-paste PDF with vague tips and a $299 price tag. I saved every screenshot, every broken link, every fake review. And then, I waited. I needed to be careful. I wasn't going to stoop to her level, but I wasn't going to let her walk away clean either. A week later, I got an anonymous message on Instagram. No name. Just a DM that said, "Thought you should know. Denise is already planning a comeback. New channel, new name. She's telling people you abused her. That you're obsessed." I stared at the message, heart racing. She wasn't done. She was just getting started. The anonymous message haunted me. I clicked on the sender's profile. It was private. No posts. No photo. The name was Truthwatcher 2024. I didn't respond, but I screenshotted everything. It felt like a warning from someone who had been close to Denise. Maybe even someone in her circle. Maybe someone finally realized she went too far. 2 days later, Mark came home early from work. He looked pale.
Shaky.
He dropped his keys on the table and said, "We've got a problem." I thought maybe it was about Ava. Or another post. But it was worse. He opened his email and showed me something from his company's HR department. Someone had emailed them anonymously, claiming he was married to a mentally unstable woman who was harassing her own family online for money and creating a hostile environment at home. Attached were clips from Denise's old channel. Not even the ones YouTube had removed. These were screen-recorded backups. Probably ones Denise kept saved. All taken out of context. All edited to make me look wild. "She's trying to get me fired," Mark said. He ran his hands over his face. "She actually sent this to corporate." We sat there in silence. Neither of us moved. That was the moment we both realized we weren't just dealing with petty family drama anymore. Denise had gone full scorched earth. And she didn't care who she dragged down to get revenge. Mark contacted HR immediately and explained everything. Thankfully, one of the supervisors had already seen my viral video. She was on our side. She even said, "Whoever sent that clearly has an axe to grind." Still, it shook us. I started to look over my shoulder every time I went to the store. I began checking the curtains at night. I didn't trust anyone around us not to be feeding her information. And then something unexpected happened. Someone from Denise's past reached out to me, an ex-friend named Rachel. I didn't know her well, but she found my video and messaged me on Facebook. She said she used to be best friends with Denise before a massive falling out. Denise had stolen some of her branding ideas and claimed them as her own. Rachel said, "She has a history of tearing people down to build herself up. She did it to me, she did it to a few other girls too. She always has to have a target." I asked her if she had proof.
She did.
Rachel had old voicemails. screenshots, even a screen recording of a private Zoom call where Denise bragged about milking family drama for clicks. In one clip, she laughed and said, "Honestly, it's not like she's gonna fight back. She's too soft. That's why it works." I thanked Rachel. I asked if she'd be willing to go on record. She said yes. With her permission, I included parts of her testimony in my next video. I didn't even have to exaggerate. I just laid it out plainly. The email to HR. The fake community posts. The recordings from Rachel. The video hit even harder than the first. This time, bigger creators picked it up. They started posting reaction videos. Parenting blogs reposted it. Even a small news outlet in Indianapolis wrote a piece titled, "When Family Turns Toxic, Local Mom Fights Back Against Online Smear Campaign." And Denise? She vanished from the internet. Her backup account got nuked within a week. Her website went down. Someone from her Boss Babe circle leaked a voice memo where she screamed that she was losing everything because of a jealous nobody. She wasn't losing because of me. She was losing because she built her empire on lies. And people finally saw it. But just when I thought the storm was calming, another bomb dropped. Mark got a call from their father, a man we hadn't heard from in years. He asked to meet. I won't lie, I didn't want to go. But Mark said we should hear him out. We met at a diner on Route 24. He looked older, thinner, like life had worn him down. He sat across from us, tapped the table and said, "Denise has always been like this. But I didn't expect her to come for you." Then he pulled out a manila folder. Inside were documents. Legal documents. Apparently, Denise had filed paperwork a few months back, naming herself as a potential guardian for Ava in the event of parental instability or incapacity. She didn't just want to ruin my reputation. She wanted to take my daughter. I stared at the papers, my mouth dry. My first thought was that it had to be a mistake. Some sort of weird legal filing that didn't mean anything. But Mark's dad, Bill, just nodded slowly. "She's serious," he said. "She told me you were unfit. That Ava needed to be around stronger people. That she was the only one who could save her from becoming, well, like you." He looked down, almost ashamed to repeat it. My chest burned. Not just from anger, but from fear. Denise wasn't done. She was playing the long game now. She knew her reputation online was shot, so she turned to the legal system. She was trying to plant seeds, build a case, create the image of a broken household. Probably to circle back later and say, "Look, I've been warning people for years." Mark took the folder home. I spent that night sitting on the edge of Ava's bed, watching her sleep. I thought about all the quiet little moments Denise had twisted into something ugly. All the times I chose kindness, softness, patience, things I believed were strengths, and how Denise saw them as flaws. That's when I realized I had one move left. One final card I hadn't played. We filed for a restraining order. With Rachel's help, with the videos, with the emails, and the smear campaign, and now this ridiculous guardianship stunt. We had enough. It took a few weeks, but a judge finally saw what we saw. On March 11th, Denise was served at her condo in Indianapolis. The court order banned her from contacting me, Ava, or Mark in any form. No emails, no texts, no social media posts. She wasn't even allowed to come within 200 feet of our home or Ava's school. And that's when everything crashed down on her. Her digital business? Already crumbling. But this scared her actual clients. Some of them had kids. They didn't want to be tied to someone with a harassment restraining order involving a child. 2 sponsors dropped her. Her email list stopped growing. People unsubscribed by the hundreds. Then this part one didn't plan. Her old videos got picked up by a parenting watchdog group. They started dissecting everything she'd done. One of their investigators found that Denise had recorded 3 other families without consent during brand consulting sessions. Lawsuits were filed. Real ones. By April, her LLC was under legal review in California for fraud. And just like that, she disappeared. But not without one last shot. She sent a handwritten letter to our house. It came 2 days after the restraining order hearing. She used a third party to send it so she could say it wasn't a direct violation.
But it was her handwriting.
It said, "You think you won, but you showed your daughter how to play dirty. She'll grow up just like you."
Weak.
Spiteful. Alone. I burned the letter in the fireplace. And you know what? Maybe I did show Ava something. But not how to be dirty. I showed her that being kind doesn't mean you let people walk on you. I showed her that protecting her family matters more than being polite. I showed her that sometimes, when someone comes into your house trying to destroy everything you've built, you fight back. And yes, I made mistakes too. I should have seen it sooner. I should have spoken up the first time Denise made those comments. I thought staying quiet would keep the peace. It didn't. It just gave her room to go further. But never again. Ava still plays piano. Still reads books under the covers. Still hugs me every morning. And now, when I look in her eyes, I don't see fear. I see strength. And not the kind Denise worships, the loud, fake kind that pushes others down. I see the strength it takes to hold your head up when someone tries to bury you. We're not soft. We're solid. And we're done staying quiet.